Picture the North Atlantic in February, where the USS Gerald R is cutting through waves hitting 40 feet high. That is a 4-story building of water slamming into the bow every 30 seconds, causing the ship to pitch 30 feet bow to stern and roll 15 degrees side to side. To survive this chaos, the bridge crew actually accelerates the ship to 30 knots, driving into the gale to increase hydrodynamic stability. The captain steers at a precise angle to the wind, creating a quartering sea to dampen the violent pitching motion. This is weather that shuts down every civilian port on the East Coast, but 7 decks below the flight deck. Chief Culinary Specialist Marcus Chun is managing something that would terrify every chef on land. He is preparing dinner for 700 people using industrial ovens at 450 degrees, managing 80-pound pots of boiling oil on a floor tilting like an earthquake simulator. The steam tables are bolted down, the pots are chained, and dinner does not stop because one mistake could turn that pot into a lethal projectile. Across the ship, 6 more galleys are doing the exact same thing simultaneously. They are producing 17,300 individual meals in a 24-hour period. That means 17,300 meals today, 17,300 tomorrow, and every single day for the next 90 days straight without grocery stores or backup plans. Most people think carriers run on nuclear power, but the experts know they run on logistics. The secret to this floating city is its 2 A1B nuclear reactors, generating enough power for a city of 100,000 people. Cooking uses less than 5% of that capacity, allowing warehouse-sized freezers to continuously store 3,000 tons of food at -10 degrees Fahrenheit. This unlimited electricity allows the United States Navy to feed 5,000 people for 3 months without resupply, granting a 90-day combat endurance that Chinese conventional carriers, which dock after 30 to 47 days, simply cannot match. But feeding the crew is only one piece of the massive logistical puzzle required to project American power across the globe. Let us descend into the industrial miracle nobody talks about, the $2 million laundry room. Deep in the belly of the hull, far below the waterline, 20 isolated sailors are fighting a daily battle against a mountain of mesh bags that smell like jet fuel and sweat. They process 20,000 pounds of dirty clothes every single day. If a pilot develops a severe skin infection from dirty underwear, he cannot fly his $100 million fighter jet. In a very real way, the washing machines spinning below deck are the only things keeping those jets in the air. The Navy utilizes Hydrodyno wash machines, massive stainless steel drums that cost $170,000 each and are bolted directly to the steel deck plates. A 200-pound load of wet uniforms spinning at high speed would become a kinetic missile if it broke loose during a storm. So these machines utilize a military-grade vibration isolation system. When the ship leans 15 degrees, the machine's suspension compensates instantly, keeping the spinning drum perfectly gyroscopically balanced. The real enemy in this steel room, however, is the water itself. The ship is floating on billions of gallons of seawater, but salt ruins fabrics and destroys machines. Fresh water is treated like liquid gold, prioritized first for the nuclear reactors, then the steam catapults, and finally drinking water, leaving laundry dead last on the list. The Navy cheats physics by using a closed-loop recycling system where the final rinse water from one load becomes the wash water for the next, meaning 1 gallon does the work of 10. To save even more energy, ships have installed hydrogenozone units that inject ozone gas directly into cold water, instantly killing bacteria and breaking down stains without the need to heat the water. Instead of thousands of plastic jugs, the room uses an automated liquid injection system that pumps exact chemical doses, balancing alkali and souring agents so the uniforms do not irritate the sailor's skin. But before a single uniform enters the wash, the crew must perform a critical foreign object debris, or FOD, check. Sailors are notorious for leaving pens, knives, and even live ammunition in their pockets. If a disposable lighter makes it into a 200-pound dryer blasting 180-degree heat, it becomes a bomb that can start a catastrophic fire in the ship's ventilation ducts. The laundry crew essentially acts as a bomb disposal unit, filling every mesh bag to prevent disaster because of the brutal conditions, pulling 12-hour shifts in 100-degree heat and near 100% humidity. The laundry room becomes the hub of the ship's underground economy. A cook might trade a tray of fresh-baked cookies at midnight just to get their uniform magically starched and pressed for an inspection yet. The absolute greatest threat to America's $13 billion supercarriers isn't Chinese hypersonic missiles or Russian nuclear submarines. It is calcium carbonate and a $3 pack of gas station baby wipes. The carrier utilizes 493 vacuum-powered toilets that pull waste through pipes at highway speeds of 37 to 62 miles per hour. This system conserves water, using just half a gallon per flush instead of 5. But it creates a chemical nightmare that nobody anticipated. Carrier toilets flush with seawater, which contains calcium and magnesium, while human urine contains uric acid. When these mix inside the vacuum pipes, they form calcium carbonate, turning into solid limestone that slowly calcifies the ship's veins, shrinking a 2-inch diameter pipe down to less than 1 inch. Now, add synthetic baby wipes to the equation. Regular toilet paper disintegrates in 30 seconds, but polyester and polypropylene wipes do not fall apart. When flushed, these wipes get sucked through the pipes until they snag on the jagged calcium buildup, acting like a net and creating what engineers call a rag blockage. The vacuum system's grinders are helpless against the synthetic fibers, and the resulting dam causes total system failure. In October 2011, aboard the USS George H.W. Bush, 423 toilets failed simultaneously, resulting in an 86% failure rate for a crew of 4,800 people. Lines for the few working bathrooms stretched 30 people deep, with wait times hitting 45 minutes. Exhausted sailors, operating billion-dollar technology on just 4 hours of sleep, were forced to choose between sleeping and waiting in line for the toilet. Many chose to hold their bladders, leading to an explosion of urinary tract infections and kidney stones. The crisis became so severe that the Navy had to distribute wag bags, which are portable plastic toilet kits with chemical powder used by mountain climbers. The most horrifying outcome is a pressure reversal known to the crew as a brown eruption. When pipes get blocked, but vacuum pressure keeps building, raw sewage violently explodes backward, coating the bathrooms and the sailors inside. Because you cannot snake out pipes filled with solid concrete, the Navy's only solution is to pump thousands of gallons of concentrated industrial acid through the entire waste system to dissolve the calcium deposits. A single specialized acid flush costs $400,000, and the Ford-class carriers require roughly 4 of these flushes every single year. Over a 50-year operational lifespan, that adds up to $80 million spent exclusively on toilet maintenance. The men and women bearing the physical brunt of this design flaw are the hull technicians, rating code HT, affectionately known by the rest of the crew as turd chasers. While pilots achieve glory launching off the flight deck, these sailors spend their careers crawling through the darkest, deepest parts of the ship, manually feeding 164-foot snake cables into pipes. They work in crawl spaces, barely tall enough to crouch, where temperatures reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The decomposing human waste produces hydrogen, sulfide gas, or H2S, which is incredibly lethal. At deadly concentrations, this gas quickly paralyzes your olfactory nerves, so you stop smelling it, making you think the air has cleared right before you fall unconscious and die. The hull technicians must gear up in the exact same SCBA breathing apparatus that firefighters use just to safely enter these toxic pump rooms. The social cost of this job is equally brutal. The smell of decomposing waste and harsh chemicals permeates their clothing, hair, and skin, and it does not easily wash off. When an HT sailor enters the mess hall for dinner after a grueling shift, tables fill up, but the seats right next to them remain completely empty. They defend the ship's habitability, but the rest of the ship refuses to sit next to them. Yet, they endure these 16-hour shifts, unclogging pipes and restoring the vacuum system, knowing full well that tomorrow someone will inevitably flush another baby wipe, and the boulder will roll right back down the hill. They fix the system without complaint because they understand that without working bathrooms, the entire $13 billion fortress would fail. You can forge the strongest steel, build the most advanced phased-array radars, and deploy the most lethal stealth fighters in human history. You can possess nuclear reactors that provide unlimited propulsion for 2 decades. But naval supremacy does not run on atom splitting alone. It runs on 17,300 meals cooked while the floor tilts 30 feet in a hurricane. It runs on 20,000 pounds of toxic jet fuel-soaked uniforms, meticulously washed without a single drop of fresh seawater. And it runs on the grueling, invisible, and completely unglamorous labor of sailors fighting concrete hard sewage in the sweltering dark. That invisible engineering and relentless human logistics are the only things keeping 5,000 Americans combat-ready month after month. The unglamorous reality of maintaining the human machine is the true, unbreakable foundation of American ocean dominance.